Welcome to the Beau Show, the home of faith, family, and freedom. I've covered TikTok a great deal on the show because, for one thing, I just have a strong dislike for it. But more importantly, it poses a great danger to everyone, not just children. On the one hand, there is the psychological danger, which is the addictive quality of TikTok. They created an app that has a highly dopamine receptor-driven incentive. We are all slaves to social media. It has become part of our go-to for entertainment, and when we are simply bored. It also has become the thing we do when we want to tune out or avoid awkwardness. Get on an elevator, and rather than saying hello, people will just start scrolling. For those who take public transportation, it's also something that passes the time. We use it as a way to avoid interaction and conversation, which is ironic because it's called social media. But the truth is that it has individualized and even secretized our communication. We do things behind a wall where there are fewer consequences. This is how we got internet trolls and bullies. Now with TikTok, there is an endless supply of quick hit content, from watching cats and dogs to various pranks and challenges that encourage stupid behavior. TikTok has been a trendsetter in that way. Also in this respect, it is something that creates action. It's a viral way of community organizing across spectrums of people of different classes, generations, and nations. So that's the psychological danger. Then, of course, there is the national security and privacy danger. TikTok is owned by Chinese company ByteDance. It was founded in 2012 and based in Beijing. TikTok's Chinese counterpart is called Douyin. In 2012, ByteDance released its first app, the title of which translates loosely to profound gags. This app allowed users to circulate gags, pranks, and humorous videos, and reached 200 million users before being shut down by the Chinese government. Why is that important? Well, because the CCP is not going to allow anything that it cannot control. Anything that creates a following or group is immediately looked at suspiciously and needs to be controlled or shut down. That's particularly true of religious movements, which is why China persecutes religion. The religion of China is the state. Anything that can gain the power of numbers is going to be a major problem for the Chinese, and they will shut it down. So that's exactly what they did to ByteDance's first viral app. But by 2016, ByteDance was using AI bots to write news articles. By 2017, it acquired Flipagram, which it merged with the music app Musical.ly to form TikTok. In March 2021, the Financial Times reported that ByteDance was part of a group of Chinese companies that aimed to deploy technology to circumvent Apple's privacy policies. Financial Times reported on a culture clash at ByteDance's London office that led to a staff exodus in 2022. Like I said earlier, Chinese companies are under strict control of the CCP. ByteDance has an internal CCP committee with Vice President Zhang Fuping serving as the company's CCP committee secretary. In 2018, Zhang Fuping stated that ByteDance should, quote, transmit the correct political direction, public opinion guidance, and value orientation into every business and product line. ByteDance is financially backed by Kohlberg Kravis Roberts, SoftBank Group, Sequoia Capital, General Atlantic, and Hillhouse Capital Group. As of March 2021, it was estimated to be valued at $250 billion in private trades. In April 2021, a state-owned enterprise owned by the Cyberspace Administration of China and China Media Group, the China Internet Investment Fund, purchased a 1% stake in ByteDance's main Chinese entity and placed a government official, Wu Shigang, on its board of directors. Multiple media outlets have called this stake a golden share investment. Now let's look at ByteDance's strategic partnerships. ByteDance's China business has a strategic partnership with the Chinese Ministry of Public Security for the ministry's public relation efforts. The partnership also said that ByteDance would work with the Ministry of Public Security on unspecified offline activities. In 2018, ByteDance helped to establish the Beijing Academy of Artificial Intelligence, an initiative backed by the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Beijing municipal government. In 2019, ByteDance formed joint ventures with Beijing Time, a publisher controlled by the Beijing Municipal CCP Committee, and with Shanghai Dongfang, a state media firm in Shanghai. In 2021, ByteDance announced that this partnership had never been in operation and was disbanded. So think about this: security, public relations, technology, offline activities, artificial intelligence, publishing media. I mean, what does ByteDance not do? And all of this is tied into the CCP. What was Joe Biden using to appear cool when he was pushing the vaccine? TikTok. TikTok hired Michael Beckerman to be their American lobbyist, and he is a graduate of George Washington University. TopBuzz is another one of ByteDance's apps. Although now defunct, ex-employees claim that it was used to push pro-CCP messaging to foreign users. After the Chinese Communist Party ordered the shutdown of a few of ByteDance apps, ByteDance's founder issued a letter stating that the app was, quote, incommensurate with socialist core values, unquote, and promised that ByteDance would further deepen cooperation with the authorities to promote their policies. Following the shutdown, ByteDance announced that it would give preference to Chinese Communist Party members in its hiring and increase its censors from 6,000 to 10,000 employees. The CCP has ordered the removal of collaboration tools on ByteDance apps due to the fact that they could circumvent internet censorship in China. Even China's own Cyberspace Administration said that the apps were collecting privacy data and personal information. Now, if China's government says they are doing it, then they are definitely doing it. And it even alarmed them. Even as recent as 2022, that same bureau, China's Cyberspace Administration, ordered ByteDance to censor the COVID-19 protests. It's crystal clear that ByteDance and the CCP are synonymous. To think otherwise would be to ignore every single move the company has ever made. In 2019, our own Federal Trade Commission fined TikTok $5.7 million for collecting data from minors. FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr said that ByteDance was beholden to the CCP and was forced to comply with surveillance demands by the CCP. In 2020, while a full political war was going on against Donald Trump, Trump saw the danger of TikTok and issued an executive order to ensure it would be sold to an American company. Now, if you go over to Wikipedia to find information about this, you will notice that the part where Joe Biden reversed all of Trump's actions regarding TikTok is conveniently left out. Why would that be? Are they realizing that support for TikTok has dwindled and that there is a bipartisan effort to ban it? Just recently, the DOJ and FBI ordered an investigation into TikTok over alleged surveillance of journalists. Wonder if I'm one of them. Good thing I don't use TikTok. Last week, TikTok CEO shouzichew testified in front of the House Energy and Commerce Committees, and the exchanges were quite explosive. I want to show you some highlights from this testimony. Here is Republican Morgan Griffith interrogating Chew.
All right, now let's talk about the kids. You told several of our folks that there was a 60-minute deadline. You also told us that if you were under the age of 18, you couldn't access the live section, the live option. So I texted my 17-year-old and my 15-year-old, and I basically got scoffs back, when I said, are you all limited to 60 minutes? My older son said, well, there is a notice I get from time to time that says I shouldn't be on more than 60 minutes, but it never has kicked me off. And my younger son said, oh, I'm on as long as I want to be. So I'm just informing you, whoever told you, particularly if it was your legal team, that that's not accurate, that they're on for more than 60 minutes and they can access the live section. I believe it was Mr. Carter that you said they couldn't, under 18, access the live, being on live section. He's done it. So whatever it is you think you're doing, it ain't getting done. Now, let's talk about the law for a minute. You share legal team, but you keep talking about how you got a firewall between you and ByteDance. You can't have an effective firewall under the United States interpretation of such if you're sharing legal counsel, because anything that you say to your legal counsel, they can share internally. If if you've got the same lawyers, now maybe you have two different teams of lawyers in the law firm, but that's not what you said to us today. You said you share lawyers. There is no firewall legally. I'm just telling you. So if you want to clean it up and be transparent, you need to do something about that. Wouldn't you agree, yes or no? That you need to do something about that.
Congressman,
You'll look into it. You'll look into it. You've been looking into it all the time. All right, you told Dr. Burgess when asked if your employees who were members of the Chinese Communist Party had access to TikTok data from the U.S., you said you didn't know who was a member of the Communist Party. But then to Congressman Wahlberg, you said that the CEO of TikTok was not a member of the Chinese Communist Party. And to Congressman Kelly, you said the founder of TikTok was not a member of the Communist Chinese Party. Sir, either you know who is and isn't a member of the Chinese Communist Party or you don't. Which one is it? I submit that you know, and you just aren't giving us the straight story. Clearly, you know, but you denied that to Dr. Burgess.
I can ask one or two people, but we have no policy to ask all the employees. I can ask one or two people, but who are in.
But it's reasonable to assume that with a significant number of members of the country of China being members of the Chinese Communist Party, logic would tell us, you're a logical man, I assume, logic would tell us that there are a fair number of your employees who are members of the Chinese Communist Party, at least a dozen or so, who have access to this data. Isn't that so?
Again, like I said, I can ask one or two people. We don't have a policy to ask everybody.
I said earlier, you're living in some kind of a cloud world because either you know or you don't know. I yield back. Thank you, ma'am.
This was kind of the running theme with Chew. He would give answers about needing to get back to the congressman and just danced around these questions, trying to play dumb. He has been clearly advised by his legal team on what to admit and what not to admit. You could actually make a pretty entertaining TikTok of every time he said he'd have to get back to someone. But isn't it interesting that the congressman was able to consult his own kids to find out whether the witness, the CEO, is telling the truth? Where does Biden stand on this? Well, let's see how he addressed Canadian Parliament.
So today, I applaud China for stepping up. I applaud Canada. You can tell what I'm thinking about China. I won't get into that yet.
He doesn't know what day it is. Keep watching at epochtv.com/The Beau Show.